Hey, it's Anthony from World of WWE, a WWE podcast. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. One, it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
You're listening to World of WWE, a WWE podcast. Hey everyone, you're listening to the World of WWE podcast. I'm Ant, and I'm joined by my co-host.
What's up, guys? It's me, Dan.
What's up, guys? It's Carlos.
And today you are going to be introduced to our brand new co-host / social media extraordinaire correspondent. Welcome, Josh. Hey, Josh. Thank you for joining our team.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We are excited. Why don't you tell everybody listening a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name's Josh. I'm Canadian, and I've been watching wrestling since I was about 5 years old. I would have been around Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah.
My favorite pay-per-view of all time is blank moment.
That's all right. Listen, there are so many pay-per-views of the Ruthless Aggression era that even I can't
It's
even.
kind of like he was going to say ECW December to Dismember, which was one of the worst pay-per-views in history.
No.
That one. Yeah.
Armageddon 2009 is my favorite pay-per-view of all time.
Say that one again, Josh.
Armageddon 2009.
Armageddon 2009.
That's a pretty good one. That was a pretty good pay-per-view.
It was Triple H versus Jeff Hardy versus Edge for the WWE title.
Oh, I remember that.
Okay. All right.
Jeff Hardy won the title, and wasn't it CM Punk who cashed in?
I don't know if it wasn't on the same night, but it was the same year.
Was CM Punk a heel yet, or did he like turn heel? I think that's like when he was with Straight Edge Society, right?
I don't really. I remember.
No, Straight Edge Society was
like
2010. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like 2011, stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember like he started growing out his hair, like looking all like a buff.
This was still the ECW Punk style Punk.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The long hair, short tights.
The Pepsi one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So, we are going to be obviously talking about where you can listen to us, but first, thank you for listening to us. We are going to be covering Monday Night Raw from June 14th, 2021. A bit better Raw than the most recent weeks. Well, not recent, it's pretty much the whole year. What do you guys think before we dive into it? How are we feeling about the build-up for Hell in a Cell?
Could have been better. It could be a little better.
Yeah, what do you think, Carlos?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it was an okay build up, but I feel like the build up they're more building up for like the live shows. Like I'm more excited to like wait till like the fans come back. Because I feel like they have a lot of good things coming.
Good.
Like right now is like a huge like a really good time to be a WWE fan. Honestly, in my opinion, like I can't wait to see like what happens. Like what's like they're gonna change the stage and all that.
It's an exciting time. It really is. And Josh, what do you think about the build-up to Hell in a Cell?
I don't like it. I don't really want McIntyre versus Lashley 3.
Okay.
Because it's already been the same. A lot of people want Lesnar versus Lashley, but I think Lesnar should stay at the spotlight.
Lesnar needs to stay back, in Josh's opinion.
Because like, what's gonna happen? He comes back. Is Paul going to go to Raw? Because Paul's always selling. Oh, I don't watch that show. Oh, this. Like.
I have a feeling if he comes back, he's going to come back as a baby face.
Because literally, like if Brock, if you want Brock, you can't find Brock because he lives in the mountains somewhere. You can't like. There's no signal. You can't find him. He's gonna have to like literally like.
He has to want to contact you to do it, not
yeah.
you
He's gonna have to like, drive all the way down the mountains to like a 7-Eleven or a gas station. Like literally pick up the phone and be like, "All right, I'm gonna do this." Like he has to call you.
He lives in Saskatchewan.
I am so fucking confused where this whole situation took place. I heard Brock Lesnar and then driving down the mountains to 7-Eleven to call Vince McMahon to tell him he wants to work SummerSlam.
No, that's kind of low key how it is because he lives in like the southern like the Kent and like up the mountains, so like there's like no signal up there. So like
if you want to up the mountains, here she comes.
Just imagine Brock Lesnar showing up in a 7-Eleven.
Doing glimmers through that phone.
Give me a big gulp. Give me a big gulp. Give me a big gulp
on the
Give me a lottery ticket.
I remember that. Or give me a pizza, old pizza from the little microwave there, and ice cream.
I think we are going off the rails already, but that's totally fine. Let's jump right into our episode of Raw. Again, it came to us June 14th. We start off with Alexa Bliss, and she says how she has good intentions inviting Shayna Baszler to the playground last week, but things went wrong. And she says that Lily is in a timeout, and then Nia Jax shows up, and she tells Alexa Bliss that Shayna will see her at Hell in a Cell. And then Nia again says she knows the real Alexa Bliss. And then Bliss tells her, we were never friends. And then Nia says, okay, fine, we'll fight. Bliss pretends to cry and says she didn't mean to hurt anyone. And then she laughs and says she's just kidding. She accepts. So before we talk about the segment, we know that Shayna Baszler will take on Alexa Bliss this Sunday at Hell in a Cell. But we also have another moment where, and this was kind of happening before WrestleMania, where it seemed like she had this like switch where like it looked like when she was in the ring, she was confused and like scared and nervous when she'd like randomly just like stop. And then she would, go back to her like sort of like possessed state. And it kind of seemed like that at first when she, started to cry, but then she started laughing. So I wasn't sure if they were kind of going back to that and sort of making this more of like a possession, like, I need help, Lily's possessing me, and I get scared, I don't know what to do type thing. But Josh, let's start with you. What did you think of the segment, and what do you think? Do you think she's doing a sort of like possession character, or do you think she's full on just evil?
I think she's Sister Abigail.
Okay.
Because of WrestleMania moment, where I think possibly Alexa's in there, but at the same time, Sister Abigail's in there. Hence why this new Lily gimmick.
That's a good idea. So you think that sort of like Sister Abigail is sort of like the possess. I mean, it is true. It would make sense, guys, because didn't this happen at the horror show? Didn't like Braun would see Alexa Bliss in that blackout like dress sort of thing, and then everyone's like, that would make sense, Josh. I think you're on the money there. So what do you think, though? What did you think about the whole segment with Nia Jax challenging her?
It would have been better with Shayna. Just because I feel like Nia and Alexa, that's not really, because Nia and reality could just squash her. So I mean, like, I thought the segment was kind of weak.
Okay.
I hear it would have been really better if it was a little bit more, if she was a little bit more darkish.
Okay.
Like how she did with Randy Orton, how dark she was and taunting. If they would have did that, would have been, I thought it would have been more better.
You feel like it's not really believable that someone, Alexa's size possibly could take on someone like Nia Jax realistically, unless she had help with some
realistically, no. But if you take Alexa Bliss from WrestleMania and the build up for Randy Orton versus The Fiend, how dark she was with the flame in his eyes, sitting on the rope, if they would have did it like how Nia started it, the promo, and how like she would say, if she would have started the promo, then have her laughing and then her sitting on the top rope with like the black goo and stuff, that would have been a little bit better.
Okay. All right. All right. Thanks, Josh. How about you, Dan?
Well, as we've touched on this, I don't understand what they're really going with Alexa Bliss. Don't get me wrong, I love Alexa Bliss, one of my favorite WWE women's superstars, but like I don't understand what direction they're going in. So it's kind of like hard to really understand what they want to do, and I don't understand what I want to see. So it's like, but I mean, this segment was good, the match was pretty okay, I guess, for an Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax match, which realistically we've seen a few times, so it's not like this. Oh my God, this is the first time we're seeing this. No, it just felt like it was kind of thrown together at last minute, but it was decent at best, I guess. It was all right.
Decent at best. No, totally. Listen, the segment was kind of strange the way it kind of started off too, Raw. Carlos, what about you? What did you think of the segment?
So just first about Alexa Bliss. So I feel like they kind of ruined her now because like I really enjoy her as like I agree with Dan. She's definitely one of my favorites as well. But it's like I liked her more as like the goddess character, like the main event Alexa Bliss. Like you saw her like main eventing shows, fighting people like Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, all those like she was like pretty much holding Raw on her back like of 2016, 2017, like holding it like she was right. Yeah, she was like Raw Women's Champion. How many times she was a champion? Like 5, 6 times or something?
A few times, yeah.
She was there for a few times.
But yeah, she's definitely. I feel like they ruined her with this character. I feel like she needs to go back to that. Like she needs to be snapped out of it or something. But the segment I thought was pretty good. But yeah, I agree with Josh. I feel like it should have been done with Shayna, but it would have made more sense. I guess they still have Nia Jax and Shayna as a tag team, but I think that they did say that. But yeah, I feel like it would have made more sense for Shayna. And then the match was good. It was good to see Alexa Bliss have a match on Raw. I haven't seen her wrestle in a while. Like in a few 85 days since she's had a match on Raw, and then it's been since almost more than a year since she hit the Twisted Bliss on anyone.
Oh wow, look at those stats.
Yeah,
we're gonna move on, but I will say before we move on, again, I wonder what the end game is here. Now, if the end game is this is going to be her character for a while, where like Josh said that she is Sister Abigail, I'm fine with that because that makes sense. A possession is not going to be easy to get rid of.
And then like one thing about that is like I feel like the reason they ruined her is because like remember there was a match I think with like Asuka and I forgot who was like a tag team match, and there was a part where Lily was controlling Reginald's leg. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And it was like so cringe. I was like, oh my
god. Well, Carlos, to be fair, remember when you were like, oh, the zombies are so cool.
No, the zombies for that was cool. That was actually cool. But that was like,
yeah, all right. I hear you. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go to our first match. Nikki Cross is taking on Charlotte Flair. We see Charlotte talking, and she calls Nikki a flash in the pan, and she will end Rhea's delusion of being champion in Charlotte's division. Before the match starts, Rhea Ripley comes down. Just quick notes during the match. Charlotte ends up throwing Nikki into a guard railing and hits a big boot. Nikki rolls a Flair, but Charlotte's able to take control. Nikki hits a really cool flying DDT almost, but Flair reverses it. And then Flair suplexes Nikki's outside, and then Nikki runs into the ring, and Charlotte Flair gets counted out. It's a very strange match. So Charlotte Flair lost. She got counted out after Nikki ran inside the ring. Then after the match, Charlotte Flair ran in, attacked Nikki Cross with a big boot outside the ring. She then threw her into the ring and started punching her until Rhea got inside and hit Flair with a riptide. So Nikki Cross now has a win over Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, a win over Charlotte Flair twice now. Carlos, what are your thoughts on the match?
I'm kind of getting like annoyed like by this whole thing. Like I feel like Nikki Cross, she's good. Nikki Cross is good, but I feel like these quick matches or they're not really. It's not really doing it for me.
Okay. All right. How about you, Josh?
I didn't like the match. I feel like they messed up with Nikki. Like if you remember her Insanity, she was nuts, and I feel like they don't like she's just watered down now. And like a count out win to me, that's not really good Raw. That's not good for Raw. Like Raw could do so much better.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. And then Dan, go ahead, man.
I liked it. It was okay, but like I agree with Josh. It was really watered down. Like, you know, I just didn't see what she used to be in there. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, also my question is, you know, if they're gonna give her a victory, why can't you let it be a pinfall? You know, if she's gonna win no matter what. Why does it have to be a count out? It kind of almost sort of shows Nikki Cross kind of where she stands. That like, yeah, you're not gonna be better than Charlotte Flair. Which, listen, Charlotte Flair, a lot of people think she's the greatest, and I get that. But Nikki Cross, if you remember last summer, had a hell of a couple of matches with Bayley. So I don't sleep on Nikki Cross. But yes, like you all said, her character, I don't get it. I don't understand why they're coming out with that "Hey Now" song that she comes out to. It's like really weird. Or no, it's Freak Out, right? Freak Out. It's really weird. But yeah, I don't understand.
When she was like with Alexa Bliss, that was really good.
But I liked her when she was with Sanity the most, when she was like weird.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. She was really insane, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you really believed she was insane. You really did.
I thought so. I was like, what the fuck is this bitch? I mean, she's beautiful. She's beautiful to look at. But at first, when I saw her, I was like, dang. But then
she looked the part. Like she had the look on her face and the eyes and the hair, like the way that she moved. And you could really buy into it.
Yep. Now it's just like her character is. I feel like
why do I care about
Alexa Bliss?
It's like, why do I care about her anymore? You know?
Mm-hmm. Well, we then go to a backstage segment with Riddle and Jeff Hardy, and Riddle poses a question to Jeff about how do you be a successful tag team partner, and Jeff tells Riddle to listen to Randy Orton. And then there's a moment where like it's just like shenanigans. Basically, Riddle is just trying to get advice from Orton, and Orton tells Riddle to be himself, and it was just kind of strange. But we'll move on from that because there really wasn't much to talk about there, unless you have something to say. It really was just them talking backstage.
Yeah.
Next, we have a match. John Morrison with The Miz taking on Jeff Hardy. I'm excited that Jeff Hardy is back, and I will say my opinion in a minute about him because I do have one. Morrison hits a really cool spinning clothesline. Cedric Alexander comes down to the ring. Jeff hits the Whisper in the Wind. And then there's a moment where Morrison hits the Starship Pain to get the win. After the match, Cedric Alexander gets on the microphone and he tells Jeff he used to idolize him. But after seeing how Jeff disrespected him last week, he knows that Jeff is a sore winner, and he apologizes for not kicking Jeff's ass and sending him to a retirement home. So Jeff says, you know what? Fine. Why don't we fight tonight? And if I lose, I will retire. Let's quickly talk about Jeff Hardy versus Morrison because it was a quick match. Really, the whole point was to kind of get us to this next match coming up. What do we think, aside from the match, what do we think about them using matches? They do have to propel storylines, but like a match to cause another match. They've been doing this a lot on Raw where it's like instead of just having the match that they really want us to have, they like put one before. Like, and why didn't you just do Cedric versus Jeff Hardy in a retirement match? Why did you have to do Morrison versus Hardy and then Hardy versus Cedric? What do you guys think of that? What do we think of why they're doing that? And you could talk about the match if you want. Dan, you can go first.
I kind of disagree with you a little bit. I think it was actually kind of smart, but at the same time, I do kind of agree with you on the fact that why did they do Morrison and Miz versus that why did they use that to set that up? Like I agree with you on that, but at the same time, I disagree with you because at least it's not just like thrown together. At least it doesn't kind of just feel like it's thrown together. Before, if it was just put together, then I'd be like, well, okay, this doesn't really make sense because this isn't like Jeff Hardy's first time going in a retirement match, but at least those ones were kind of built up a little bit. So I beg to disagree a little bit on you with that.
Well, hang on, and I could be wrong. I think the reason why I think last week Cedric and I could be wrong. Did Cedric and Jeff fight last week?
I don't think so. I don't really remember.
I don't know, because he was like, after our match last week, you were a sore loot winner. So that's why I wasn't sure if they fought last week or not.
They did.
They did?
Jeff won.
They did. Okay. So then, yeah. I mean, if they already fought, why didn't they just do it again?
Yeah.
Like, if John Morrison was involved in the match, then yeah, I would get that. But like, why are you going to throw more? You could have Morrison in a better rivalry with somebody else.
Yeah, that makes sense. But also, I do have a question myself.
Go ahead.
Why? Like, I thought Miz was supposed to be out for a while. Like, wasn't he supposed to be like dead because he was eaten by zombies or something? Like,
No, but they have him in a wheelchair though.
He tore his Achilles tendon in that match.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was like, isn't he supposed to be out? Like, why was he there? That's what was confusing me.
I guess just to give him money, I guess, to put him on TV, have him just sit down and kind of be what people find comic.
Did you guys remember last week when when John Morrison forgot about him and he rolled down the ramp? That was so hilarious. He almost got killed, man.
I feel bad for the comedy roles. I do. Like, Miz doesn't deserve that. Morrison doesn't deserve that, but they're still going with it, and I just don't think it. But anyways, the match was okay. You know, it didn't make me feel like, oh, I'm going to remember this match. It was one of the greatest matches ever, but it was,
It was something, right? Okay, and Josh and Carlos, whatever you have to say, go ahead about that. I mean, it really wasn't. Why don't we talk about the next match, because like we just said, this match kind of was pointless.
Go ahead,
Carlos,
really quick.
Go ahead.
So I didn't really understand like why they made Hardy lose to John Morrison, but then like get the win over Cedric. I mean, like, I know why, like, because like it was a retirement match. Like, if he loses, he'll retire. But like come on, like why make Cedric? I mean, I know Cedric was just in the Hurt Business a couple months ago. Then they want to make him lose to like Jeff Hardy. I mean, I'm a fan of Jeff Hardy, but come on, like give the younger guys a chance,
Actually, so I agree with you, because also storytelling wise, if Jeff Hardy got beat by Morrison, how is he going to beat Cedric in a matter of like 2 minutes?
He did lose to Cedric last week. I mean, no, Cedric did lose to him last week again too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Josh, you have anything to add?
I think, and like the match was stupid. Like, I agree with that. But I feel like they're not using Hardy good. Like, they still haven't given him his old theme song, and like I feel like he's just really washed up. And it's because like if you notice, like, he's getting wore down.
Yeah.
Like, they're putting him with Morrison versus Jeff Hardy. That to me, that's not really interesting. Jeff Hardy in general, versus Cedric Alexander, I agree that match isn't. Not to crap on Cedric Alexander. He got some really good talent, but they shouldn't have broken up the Hurt Business. They should have kept it going. But it makes no sense. Hardy versus Morrison and Hardy again versus Cedric Alexander. Because if you think about it, Jeff's going to win, because they're not going to put Alexander over Jeff Hardy, because they just signed to another deal. So it makes no sense.
Yeah. I guess
I would like, what I would like to see, because since Josh, you brought up Hurt Business, you people are going to hate on me and talk shit to me, but it's okay. I would love to see them bring Shelton Benjamin and have him kind of create his own, like, world's greatest tag team, like, own kind of team angle, where it's like two young guys who, because I mean, Shelton Benjamin is a fucking Hall. I think he's going to be the Hall. I mean, maybe not Hall of Fame, maybe not. I'm talking too high, not in the Hall of Fame, but people I do think know him. I don't know. I just kind of wish they did something with Shelton Benjamin. I don't know. I like him. I don't think he's like a great, like, the greatest superstar today, but like for nostalgia purpose, I don't know. Leave me alone.
WWE's booking on Raw lately is so broken.
Yeah.
That it's just so awful. And you have Raw is so bad because their producers are crap. And it's like, people say it's Vince. It's not totally Vince. Like, Vince just has the final say. Yeah, but the thing is that Vince made Kofi champion when he didn't even want to, right? So like you can't like say Vince is crap. Vince made Kofi champion, but they really don't have any talent. Good, like they have good talent, but they're not
Using the correct.
Raw is the same thing. You're gonna see Drew McIntyre's last another 6 months. It's gonna be the same crap because that's what WWE does.
Well, here's my problem with Vince. And you're right, because it's true. Like, he did give us Kofi. But, like, I mean, it was like, what, 3 months? And then Brock Lesnar came.
Yeah, he got squashed by Brock.
So I think I do hear what you're saying. I 100% agree. Like, I think the writers completely suck. But at the same token, it's almost like this is a weird analogy, but I work with kids, right? And so like I'm a paraprofessional, which means that like I'm like the teacher's assistant, right? And so we have our head teacher and she fucking sucks. Like it's really bad. Like doesn't do her job right, like comes in late, fucking sleeps on the job. These are all true stories about this lady I worked with. And we would come in and we would try really hard to do our best and we would throw out ideas and she would take them sometimes, but she'd say, okay, well, you have to do it and figure it out. And then she'd have ideas and we completely hate them. And she'd just be like, okay, but the one common denominator is no matter what, she led the direction. And if you are sheep, which is kind of what's happening in WWE, you're gonna sort of follow what you think your boss is gonna like. And
they're really writing for Vince. That's what they're doing.
But I don't. Here's the thing, though. But here's my only thing to back Vince up, though. To back up Vince a little bit, I really think. And this is crazy, and it doesn't make sense, but I feel like Vince is waiting for the next Hulk Hogan or the next Rock or the next. Like, I feel like he's trying really hard to find different wrestlers to keep his company going. Because right now, and we've talked about this, a lot of things, there's a lot of rumors. Maybe he's going to sell, maybe this. I don't think he's in it 100%. And I think he's waiting to make one more star and then he's done. I really think that because I feel like right now we're in dangerous territory. We have another wrestling company. There's many more than just one. There's New Japan. There's countries all over the world, companies all over the world. And
Lucha Underground.
All these different.
But one thing, let me just add real quick.
Sure.
So wait, dang it, I forgot. Okay,
we were talking
going
about Vince possibly selling.
No, keep going. I forgot what I was gonna say.
It's okay. And so it's hard. It's hard. I really, and this is going to be a controversial opinion, I think, but I really, just based on watching NXT, I feel like if Triple H had it, I feel like everyone would be satisfied. Because what I like about Triple H is with the takeovers that he does, like when there is Vengeance Day, I really like when they do the different stages, and I love that he pays attention to that. Vengeance Day had the old circle with the V, and then they had what was it? In Your House, obviously, as the old set. So I kind of like that. But I also think he lets the athletes and the wrestlers like create and be in control of their character. I feel like go ahead.
I feel like there's no need for another Cena or like a Rock or a Hogan because I feel like nobody wants that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I also feel like Vince is not going to make another Rock because I'll just go to Hollywood.
I agree.
And like, see, the problem is you look at Roman right now is so built perfectly because he has the size. Mm-hmm. Like Roman, like I've been a fan of Roman for years, and it's because Roman can do things that you think, okay, well, Roman versus Taker, Roman's going to destroy the Undertaker. So like, if you look at like, the problem with Vince is that I hate the Kofi reign. I thought it was the most stupidest reign ever. Because if you look at all the champions before, like nobody wants to see Kofi. He made Jinder Mahal champion when he shouldn't have. Like you had there's Shinsuke Nakamura and like there's other talent that deserve to have it.
Mm-hmm. I hear what you're saying.
And Kofi is in the same category as The Miz and Dolph Ziggler. They're not huge stars. They're good at what they do. But they can't sell that much tickets, right? The New Day sells tickets. And that's why Big E right now, he's stuck in a little bit of a spot because I still look at Big E and think of the New Day.
Well, I do have a question for you guys, and Josh, you will remember this. What if they gave it a chance? Let's say they said, you know what? This would never happen, but let's just fucking go off the rails. Yes, we see Kofi is probably not going to be realistic a fucking champion, but let's see what happens. Let's like with Mankind. When you saw Mankind as WWE champion, everyone's like, yeah, fucking right. But the thing is, like, there was characters. Right now, there's no, like you said, with Kofi Kingston, and I get mad at that too because it's like, you're right, like the New Day, I do like them, but they sell, and to me, it's like, come on, like I want to see like wrestling, and I do like the New Day, and I do like their characters, but like I don't care anymore about the ice cream and all that shit. Like I just want to see like
I don't care for the comedic crap. I don't care that they have pancakes. I don't care. Like,
but what do you
like I enjoyed like when the New Day, like when they were doing when I feel like 2015, 2016 were the prime years, like with the Bootios, and I feel like that they should have just stuck with that because that was like original, that was funny, like the whole, and they were like, my favorite segment of theirs was when they did the country music. They were like, country music sucks, and then they like did the whole, or the time machine that they did, or like they were doing like great segments, and I loved it. Like it was comedy, but it was like, but like
it wasn't full blown comedy like with Santino Marella or something.
Oh, that was stupid.
It was kind of that Santino Marella was kind of like embarrassing comedy, like just like cringe.
That's like the zombies,
humiliate, like stuff they do.
God, you gotta keep
the zombies was neat.
I keep saying the zombie.
Like, come on,
the zombies were neat.
It's over with.
All right, moving on. We are now time. It is time for the evolution of Eva Marie to debut on Raw, and Naomi comes down, and it's sad to see Naomi as the jobber. It makes me very upset because Naomi, in my opinion, is one of the greatest female athletes that they have on their roster, but she's a jobber right now. And not only does Eva Marie come out, but this lady who, if you are a fan of NXT UK, you will know her as Piper Niven. She was not given a name. However, I heard of some rumblings of names, and I will only tell you next week if the name that I heard is the actual name, because it is so ridiculous that I don't want to put it out into the universe. So Piper Niven, I'm going to call her that because that's her name. She comes down. She doesn't look like her normal character. In NXT UK, she has like curly brown hair. She wears the same kind of like attire, but like with that like weird hairstyle, that was not her character at all. So she comes down. She hits Naomi with a headbutt. She hits a senton and a big splash. And then she hits a Michinoku driver and she gets the win. After the match, Eva Marie grabs a microphone and announces herself as the winner. Piper Niven hugs her, and Eva looks kind of disgusted and not as into it as Piper Niven was. So, what do we here think of Eva Marie and Piper Niven? We'll start with Carlos.
I feel a little confused with that because I guess it's a good way to like say like because like Eva Marie got the win, but like even somebody she had help. But I was really looking forward to see like her ring skills, like see what she's improved on, But we'll see what goes down. Like we'll see what goes on from there.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Josh?
You're gonna hate me.
Go ahead.
I don't care for Naomi. Never really did.
That's okay.
Eva Marie looks like a friggin' man in a tutu.
Oh
don't pay attention to her. She's all plastic. Don't care for her. I thought the match was more of a bathroom break for me personally. Okay. Nothing against Piper Niven. I don't know who she is, so she's okay for now. Mm-hmm. I just feel like they kept Eva Marie but released Aleister Black, and that to me drives me nuts because her vignettes were kind of neat, but at the same time, it's like she's like in the same category as Nikki Bella. Plastic, can't wrestle. Stupid. And like, I don't like Naomi, but like Naomi can wrestle. I'll give her that. She can really wrestle. And for her to be in a jobber spot, I mean, I don't see her as women's champion material, but I mean, she deserves a little bit more better than that. And I feel like since she's married to one of the Usos, I feel like that's not fair either. I don't feel like she should have been in that spot.
Yeah.
I think Eva Marie could be a great heel manager.
Yeah.
If she's done correctly, I don't think she can wrestle. That's pretty much it.
So let me tell you my story with Eva Marie. Let me get to you, Dan. Go ahead, Dan. You tell me first your thoughts, and then I'll tell you.
I kind of have most of the stuff Josh said. I kind of have to agree with. Like, the match wasn't really good. You know, it was more of a bathroom break kind of thing. It was. I also agree with the fact that, you know, maybe Eva Marie, if done right, she could have been like maybe a heel manager or something. But like, I disagree with the Naomi thing. I think she deserves to be at least in a better place than she is. But I mean, realistically, I don't have that much more different thought than Josh did.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. So let me tell you what I think. I was never really a big fan of Eva Marie. I always thought she was stupid and everything like that. And then I'm a big fan of the show Big Brother. It's a reality show here in the States. And I think there's Big Brother in Canada as well. But anyways, she was on the celebrity version of it, and I didn't think I was gonna like her, but I really did like her. And she was very good in the competitions, like athletically. However, that doesn't mean that she's going to be a great wrestler, because obviously those are two different things. But I do think that she would be a great heel manager, because although a lot of people don't think, you know, I know Josh doesn't think she looks good. I think she looks good. And, you know, it's attractive when there's like a bad, you know, I'm always into the girls that are like bad, like, you know, Mid-East. Who else is one of those, like Stacy Keibler, you know, the kind of just like that attitude of like, I'm good looking and I know it and I don't give a fuck.
Thanks.
Yeah, well, Sasha Banks is more of like an actual like wrestler. I'm talking about people like Eva Marie, Stacy Keibler, like those are people who like you wouldn't see fighting in a WrestleMania. Kelly. Yeah.
Oh man, she was hot.
But Kelly was like she was more like a good girl. Like she was never really.
Yeah, but I see, but you know, I hear you. But Kelly was kind of like. I remember when she first came on. I was like,
I loved her, but like she was like so like too girly.
I never really cared about her. She never really made me care about her.
But
Michelle McCool and Victoria were pretty good.
I did.
I loved Lita. I loved Lita.
My favorite of all time. Who is it? Not now.
Stratus.
Yes, she said it.
Oh fuck yeah, the ass on that. Oh my.
I thought it was Becky Lynch.
I can't breathe. I'm about to fall. I'm just thinking of her and I'm about to fall. Sorry, not yet. Listen, that was let me tell you this funny story before we go back. Josh, you'll find this funny. And Dan and Carlos have heard this before. The listeners probably have heard this before, but I don't care. So you will remember Invasion 2001, right?
Maybe.
Okay,
Maybe.
So that was the one. I'm like, John. It was the one where it was the first time they had it was the Alliance versus WWE. It was the Joe pay-per-view, right? And so they were doing a tag team bra and panties tag match, and it was Stacy and Tori against Trish and Lita. And at the time, I was like 7 or 8, and my dad and mom they wouldn't let me watch those matches, like because my dad would be worried that my mom would get mad. So whenever those would come on, like he'd turn it off. So one night when my parents were gone, I was like, you know what? I want to watch this match. So I reordered the pay-per-view. Now that match came on right before the main event, and the pay-per-view was 3 hours long. So I'm waiting. I'm doing what I got to do to take up the time. And then finally the match is about to come on, and my mom comes home. And she's like, you ordered it again. I'm telling your father, da 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 da. And it, you know, and it was a moment for sure. But yeah, I was a pervert. Okay, so moving on. Speaking of perverts, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, They are taking pictures backstage, and you could hear some sort of like background noise, and Natalya and Tamina are in the ring sparring with each other. Mandy Rose makes a comment, and Natty says that their priorities are wrong. Mandy says that if it wasn't for their last names, that Tamina and Natalya would have been fired. And that's when the two teams fight. Really nothing to say. It was just them fighting. It's obviously going to lead to a tag match because they are the only tag teams in the women's division right now. Next, moving on to an actual tag match, the New Day taking on RK Bro. And before the match, Drew McIntyre talked shit about Bobby Lashley as usual. This is actually a pretty decent match. A lot of stuff going on. I won't break down every moment because there was a lot of stuff going on, but there was a cool moment where Riddle tries a springboard suplex. New Day ended up hitting a flying stomp, but Riddle bridges out of it. I had never seen someone bridge out of a pin like that. I thought that was cool. But Randy ended up hitting Xavier Woods with an RKO to get RKO Bro the tag team win. Dan, what did you think of the match?
It was good.
Yeah.
I don't really have any other opinion other than
it was good. Good. Who said that, Booker T? It was good.
It was good.
Okay, Carlos, what about you?
I thought the match was good as well. I thought the RKO spot was really cool too. The RKO spot that I think he RKO'd like Xavier was about to go for his finisher, the honor roll, and then he caught him in the RKO. I thought it was really cool.
Nice. Yeah, that was RKO out of nowhere. How about you, Josh? What did you think?
I think it was a good match. RK Bro I feel like that's the best thing of Raw right now. I don't care if Riddle's stoner gimmick. I think it's stupid.
See, I love that. Go ahead.
I don't, because they're against that in the company. So I mean, why? I know wrestlers that did it would get suspended. So
I see what you're saying. It doesn't.
They're promoting it.
Yeah.
But if you do it, you get suspended. So to me, I feel like that's just stupid. Like Vince is he's a crackpot. Makes no sense. But I feel like the New Day as well. I feel like they're rebounding.
Yeah.
And I hope they get the tag titles back because I don't really care for Styles and Osmos. Whatever you pronounce his name.
It was Cosmo and Wanda's. Omos.
That's it. But I thought the match was good.
We will talk about let's talk about the New Day really quick now because this moment does happen later on, but we'll just talk about it now and then just skip over later on. But we go backstage and Bobby MVP is talking to Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, and he basically tells him the reason why Kofi Mania failed was because of Xavier Woods, and that when he loses, you lose too. So you gotta think about that. And then Kofi Kingston kind of looks at him and is like, okay, but he tells him, off oh, I'm not gonna listen to you. But I don't know, guys. I think there might be a crumbling in that faction too soon.
I think
I agree.
Kofi's just gonna turn here at he's gonna make Drew lose. Mm-hmm. Something's gonna happen with him and Drew.
I never liked Xavier Woods. I just feel like
what?
Yeah, I've never liked Xavier Woods.
Really?
When he was a jobber to Brodus Clay all the time before New Day even came around. So I mean, I feel like Kofi. Reason why Kofi lost Brock is it's because it's Lesnar wanted the title, so whatever. But I feel like if they bring the Hurt Business, they should bring Kofi into the Hurt Business.
I feel like Xavier Woods, wrestling wise, he's really entertaining. But as a person, he's really, really a nice person, down to earth. He likes video games and stuff. I feel like he's really down to earth person.
Can I tell you an idea I have? And this is just going back. I'm copying from SummerSlam 1994. How great would it be if this entire time, he's talking shit about, and they've done this before, but again, I still like it. He's talking shit about Kofi, about Woods to Kofi. Oh, Woods, it's his fault. He sucks. Da, da, da. And then have him and Kofi lose, and then Xavier Woods just fuck up Kofi, and then join the Hurt Business and be like, I fucking screwed you over this past year and a half working with these guys. They did that with the $1 Million Company what was it, the $1 million? It was like the $1 million team.
Didn't they also kind of do that with like Rock and Vince McMahon and shit like that?
They've done that a lot. Like they did that with like Vince, where he ended up basically he had his daughter kidnapped, and he was the leader of the corporate ministry. But during the time, you didn't know it because he's like, "Where's Stephanie? Where's Stephanie?" And then like he's like, "It was me, Austin. It was me all along." Basically, he wanted to fuck with Stone Cold, so he basically caused like drama with his family and like caused issues for himself for him to become the like leader of the corporate ministry. But they did it. They've done it a lot.
I wouldn't really care for that personally.
Right. I feel like for me, like I feel like they're going like I just feel like I'm tired of seeing them like, okay, Kofi is now gonna turn on Woods. Like I'd rather see something a little different, but they're probably just gonna do Kofi's gonna turn on Woods and then just whatever. Have Kofi.
I don't want them to. I kind of like them as a tag team. They work, you know.
You couldn't because Kofi's too much. Kids like Kofi too much. They like Xavier too much. You can't. Like they've already messed up and they put Big E away from the New Day.
Yeah.
They're the new John Cena. Kids love them.
But then here's my problem then with WWE right now is that when you cater to kids, then people can never die. Because in kids' minds, they believe like, so it's like, yes, the New Day, you're right. Kids don't want to see them break up. But then it comes a point in time where it's like, okay, where are they gonna fucking be till the end of their careers, a New Day? So it just kind of, it's like they're catering a lot to the kids. It seems like, and good, you know. When I was a kid, I liked it, but as a kid, they weren't catering to us. They were catering to
the older
audience. Yeah, so it's like, you know, I feel like if they give kids a chance, they'd see.
See, that's another issue. Is like the reason why John Cena can't go heels because of that. Like they made, like I hate the face. You know, like I never liked it, and I get it, but at the same time is though, if they wait too long, they'll never be able to make them heel because right now they need to fill the Cena void, right?
And it also kind of works the opposite way with like people with like the Miz. I don't really see Miz as a face. I don't think he's a good face at all. If you wait too long to do anything with somebody and just keep them doing it for the entire career, you can't really do anything with them besides that one thing.
So this is a little off topic, like a little bit, but like so apparently I read a lot like off of like the things that I hear. Like John Cena actually said it like on an interview that like they had a plan for him to turn heel, like everything set up. Like they had gear set up for him, new theme song, a whole storyline. Like he was supposed to turn heel the night after WrestleMania 28 when he lost to The Rock the first time. But and he was like down for it. But like apparently like I forgot what happened. Like I think they changed writers or something. Like they were, or it was the merchandise sales, like they were getting really good sales. They were like, no, we're just gonna keep him as face. But they had everything set up for a heel, and apparently John Cena still has the gear that they had for him. He has the gear at his house, like that they had for him to be a heel with.
Interesting.
It's like crazy.
I just feel like maybe don't wait for it to like just like if you see the right time, do it. Don't wait. Be like, oh, okay, the kids are gonna hate it if we do it. So what? They're gonna grow up. They're gonna be like, actually, that was a good idea. Like
that's like me with Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Like at first, when I was a kid, when I was younger, I did not like him. Like he was so like mean, but now I love that shit.
Yeah, that's like, me too. Because I feel like with Roman Reigns, like Roman Reigns should never be a babyface because the size he has. Like his spears are so destructive, and his drive-by kicks are so destructive. That's not really face type. And it took them years to like what he's been in wrestling WWE for 8-9 years now, and it took them that long to make him heel. Now he's over.
Or a guy like Seth Rollins. Like my favorite time of him was when he was like with the Authority, like when he was Mr. Money in the Bank, and like that was like my favorite time. He was like such a cocky heel that he knew he was good, and he
That's
knew
really funny because Seth Rollins wasn't even supposed to be the one to turn heel on the Shield. It was supposed to originally be Dean Ambrose.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm happy it went down that way because I love what they did with Dean. Like at the like
I liked the 2016 stuff they did with him, but when they made him heel, oh, that was just bad. That was just bad.
Yeah, no, that
wait, he was heel.
You could tell back in like 2017, he turned heel on Rollins when Roman Reigns declared he had cancer.
I think that was like late 2018.
Yeah, I remember.
But that you could tell
That's
that
the
was
whole
all
reason he left the company, because he hated this shit. He was gonna have to say a line about a goddamn pooper scooper. Like, who the fuck says that?
You could tell that was all rushed, like rushed through.
No, it wasn't even rushed. It was just for Vince to laugh, and he's like, "All right, we got to take this out before Vince sees it, because if he sees it, he's gonna want me to say it." I just felt so bad. And that's kind of why I'm happy he's in AEW. He doesn't have to do that crap anymore. They
His
know
promos
what.
are fire over there.
Yeah, it's so much better. I mean, don't get me wrong. I miss him in WWE. Like, I miss watching him as the crazy lunatic. But at the same time, his John Moxley character is also really good.
Oh, and by the way, congratulations to Dean and Renee. They had their child, a daughter, I think. They just had one.
I thought that was supposed to be pushed up. I thought that was a little later. I don't remember what it was.
No. I think it was that the baby was born already. Like, I think that they like just a few days ago.
Guys, we are going
I guess he
completely
could have.
off the rails. I have to take control. We are now talking about fucking babies. Let's go back to Monday Night Raw. Asuka versus Women's Champion. Oh, wait, did that happen? Wait. Yes, right? No. Yes, okay. Sorry, I had to make sure my notes are together. Asuka versus Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley. This was a pretty decent match. A lot of stuff was going on here. Asuka had a lot of control. Asuka used a lot of cool moves, a flying drop kick, a running hip attack. Rhea ended up slamming Asuka's head off the barricade outside. Rhea applies a submission hold. Asuka counters, but Rhea ends up hitting the riptide. And then Charlotte Flair, and then she gets the win. After the match, Charlotte Flair runs and hits a big boot and attacks Rhea. Rhea punches back, and the two are broken apart and separated by the officials. And then they brawl again, and then again get separated. Quick thoughts on this. We'll start with Josh.
I thought I didn't care for it. Another bathroom break for me, because I feel like I don't know if it's Asuka's gimmick or not. Like the way that she makes her talk, I don't like Asuka. If she can't speak English, making her do those stupid faces as she talks it's not really something I really care about. Yeah. So I like how they're making Rhea unstoppable. I really enjoy that. I don't like, again, Charlotte Flair is the female version of John Cena. No one cares Charlotte Flair. I don't like, just because her last name's Flair, she's always in these championship opportunities.
Yeah.
So I don't care. Charlotte is just Charlotte. Like the whole build up, her suspension was stupid. Like like I don't know who's in charge of the women's division on Raw, but he should be fired or she should be fired. They're just stupid. Like these matches this week have been so dumb. Like,
yeah, it is very weird for sure.
The only good women in wrestling is on NXT, to be honest. Yeah. Raw, they're divas. They're putting Alexa versus Nia Jax and.
Yep, I completely agree with you, Josh.
So I feel like Raw doesn't have good women's division. They don't.
It really lacks without Becky Lynch. I mean, that's my opinion.
What was that, Dan?
I said it really lacks without Becky.
All right, okay. How about you, Carlos?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Your quick thoughts on the Rhea Ripley versus Asuka match.
I didn't really pay attention to it. Like, yeah, I didn't really. I'm just waiting for Becky Lynch to come back, to be honest.
Okay, all right. So yeah, all kind of feeling the same. I thought it was a good match.
My opinion yet?
Oh, Dan. I'm sorry. I thought you just said that was your thought. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Keep talking.
It's all right. I was just gonna say, like, we've seen this match over and over and over and over, and it's just like kind of boring now. And like the whole Charlotte versus Rhea thing, I'm not excited for, because we all know, like Josh says, she's basically like the women's John Cena. She's gonna eventually beat Rhea, and I don't like that because that's so stupid. And Asuka, she hasn't had any like credibility, at least in my opinion, till like she lost her credibility when she lost to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. When she
Yeah.
lost that streak, she lost all her credibility.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. It just all went away that second she got beat. I don't know. Just wasn't a good match in my opinion. It was just like we've seen over and over and over and over. Like we need new matches. Like come on.
So I really enjoyed the tag team of Asuka and Charlotte because that was giving Asuka a little bit more better credibility because she didn't really have to talk, right?
The
She
only
can't
the only
talk
thing
English.
that I didn't like about that was just the fact that we didn't really see anything about the Raw Women's Championship, like the top women's title. It didn't seem like they cared too much about it. They only really cared about the women's tag titles at the time.
A lot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with the Raw Women's division and just the Raw division in general. So let's move on a little bit now. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I was agreeing with you.
Yep. So, all right, moving on right along. I'm sorry, you guys. There's a lot. Raw's 3 hours long, and I'm like, okay. Alexa Bliss is now taking on Nia Jax. Alexa Bliss is in control to start, but eventually she gets dropped by Nia Jax. She runs through Bliss. Reginald tracks Bliss, so Bliss hits a DDT and hits a Twisted Bliss, but then Reginald pulls Bliss off, causing a disqualification. After the match, Alexa stares at Reginald, and Reginald starts to copy all of Bliss's head movements like he's hypnotized. And that's the end of that segment. What do we think? Quick thoughts on that.
Stupid.
We'll start with Josh.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I don't like Reginald. I think he's just stupid. Again, the writers are stupid. They're like,
So what is it
like
about
Nia?
Like
Nia doesn't need Reginald.
Yeah.
Like Shayna does not need Reginald.
Yeah.
So like Alexa, I freaking love Alexa. I've always loved Alexa. Again, I really enjoy the exorcism type feel of Alexa. Like I'm a big fan of the dark gimmicks. That's what I like.
Okay.
But in reality, again, it's like putting Kofi versus Brock. Kofi's never going to be Brock. And so I feel like it would have been nice for her to have a clean win.
Yeah.
And that's why WWE Raw is just terrible. It's because, so you're taking that match had good potential. So you have Reginald pull this Alexa out of the ring. Like that to me is like, well, again, bathroom break.
Yeah.
So like,
do anything.
3 bathroom breaks for women matches like this week. Come on, Vince, fire your writers, get better writers, because that's like you can have a Nia win, but it would have been made more sense if he pulled the ref out or he just got on the apron. That's just my opinion. I thought it was stupid. I didn't really care for Reginald. I don't feel like he should even be associated with Nia because again, she doesn't need a little man.
All right, I hear you, man. I hear you. Reginald can keep it moving. How about Dan?
I just really agree with Josh, to be honest. Don't need her, or they don't need him. I mean, I don't know. I just the matches. They haven't been like sticking out to me. Like, wow, I should watch this. No, I don't care. I just don't.
All right. And then last but not least, Carlos.
So yeah, I agree with both of you guys. I feel like Reginald isn't needed in that storyline at all. He just I guess just needs to I'm not sure what I wouldn't no one wants to no one I would never want to say I would never wish for anyone to get released from their job or anything, but I don't think he has any he doesn't have anything to do there.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit in. He's athletic, but he's good. Like the moves that he does, like how he stays away, he do the flips and everything. But yeah, I don't know.
I feel like he should be associated on NXT. Like he could help. When I look at Renzo, I see a chauffeur style guy
or a manager. Kind of.
I don't like. putting him with Carmella was amazing because Carmella needed that. Needed a chauffeur, needed someone. But look at Shayna. She's former MMA fighter. What's we thinking of putting him with Nia? Like, Nia is a huge woman. She can destroy half of the women roster. So they're just using, like, I agree. He shouldn't lose his job. Like, no one should. But you got to find him a better fit, because it just makes the show stupid when you have somebody at a place, or you have somebody in a spot that they shouldn't be in.
I hear you. Yeah, there's a lot still going on with everything, and I guess we'll find out how things with Alexa and Shayna are going to turn out at Hell in a Cell. We only have two more matches to fly through. Elias versus Jackson Riker, corny match. Riker gets the count out victory again after Elias leaves the ring. Do you guys have anything to say about this, or is it all right if we skip over this?
I do.
Go ahead.
I love Elias, and I hate how they're using him.
Okay.
When I look at Elias, I see Jeff Jarrett 2.0. Like, my favorite thing about Elias was the Jeff Hardy feud. I loved that feud. Like, I thought it was a really good feud, and to have him go from that to jobbing to Jackson Riker and known racist, like, that to me is just what is wrong with Raw. Like that. Elias deserves so much more. Like, he's a great person. He's a great singer. I just love Elias. I just feel like, those matches, again, bathroom break. I hate count out matches. Like, I feel like they're stupid. It's a stupid rule, because it's just like, well, I just don't like them. I just wish Elias would go back to NXT. I feel like that's where he should go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like Elias would be probably better off in a different spot. I don't know how I feel about Elias. He's not really my favorite, but I haven't really given him much of a chance. How about, does anyone else have anything to say?
Nah, just another filler match, I felt like it was.
Yeah. Justice for Elias. So then we have Bobby Lashley and his VIP set up on stage with women, and there's like a little rope to make sure that no one gets through. Pretty much Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles is the main event. Omos is with Styles. Pretty decent match, but then Omos pulls AJ Styles out of the ring, and then Bobby Lashley gets on the apron, and that's when the Viking Raiders show up. And eventually the match is made, the Viking Raiders and Drew McIntyre against WWE Champion Bobby Lashley and Raw Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Omos. To be honest with you, I didn't really watch this match because I was kind of like, I don't know what's going on. So I do know the ending. Drew McIntyre is actually able to pin the champion Bobby Lashley, which in my opinion scares me for his to see if he's going to win tomorrow night. Well, not tomorrow night. Gosh, what day am I in? I feel like I'm on Saturday. How is he going to do Sunday night at Hell in a Cell? Because usually the person who picks up the victory on Raw the week before doesn't end up on Sunday. So I'll go with Dan to start off.
It was a good match. I'm not gonna complain. Yeah. Decent action. Some stuff made sense. So, I mean, I don't really know what to say about it. It was just an okay match.
Just another match. And then
another match. That's all it seems to me. Like, that's all Raw matches seem to be. Just matches. Like, nothing really makes me go like, okay, I care about this. I have to watch this to like understand the storyline. I don't have to watch it to understand it.
Okay. Carlos.
We're up to the main event, right?
Yep. I was like,
yeah. So I didn't really I didn't get to the main event. I know Drew pinned Lashley, but I didn't really get to that part. So I didn't really understand. So yeah. That's all I got.
How about you, Josh? What do you think?
Mixed feelings. I really like Lashley. I really like Drew McIntyre. I didn't really watch the match either. I watched the highlights. I know that McIntyre pinned him. But again, it's on Raw.
Yeah.
Raw
so-
lately is shit. Raw. I don't watch Raw. I haven't watched Raw honestly since the Orton Fiend feud, because Raw is just like I don't like watching 3 hours of wrestling because it drags and it's horrible.
Yeah.
Man, Raw. I have not watched Raw religiously when CM Punk was around, because he made Raw interesting. Lately, Raw's just been terrible. Bad promos and bad segments, and you got champions fighting jobbers, and it's just really bad. But I wouldn't mind McIntyre becoming champion in Hell in a Cell. 3-time world champion, I think. But then again, Lashley, putting the title on Lashley was the smartest thing they did, because Lashley is a beast. I don't remember, the younglings here wouldn't remember, but Lashley back then, man, he's his ECW days. He was a titan. And but Lashley's not the same, right? Lashley is not the same as he was in ECW or early SmackDown or Raw. He's just. So, I mean, yeah, but if you look at it, Lashley almost lost the title. What was the last pay-per-view?
The last pay-per-view was, oh gosh, there's so many. Wasn't it
The one that
WrestleMania
just
Backlash?
passed.
No.
That's it.
Was it WrestleMania Backlash? Okay.
The triple threat match with Strowman.
Yeah.
I felt like Strowman should have won, because Lashley really wasn't a beast in that match. He basically stole a pin.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when a champion does that, how does a champion rebound from that? And they have not built Lashley up since then. So I wouldn't be surprised if McIntyre beats Bobby Lashley.
Okay.
But if Lashley wins this Sunday, it's not going to be clean. It's going to be outside interference. Because I think of who are those two men? Mace and what?
T-Bar?
Yeah. I think they're going to interfere.
Okay, so they might get involved in the match. All right, that could happen.
I'm scared for Lashley. I don't even want to watch Hell in a Cell, because I know I want Lashley to win, but I wouldn't mind Drew winning. But I think if Lashley wins, you need to put someone else in the title picture. But at the same time, Raw released a bunch of the good talents. What are you gonna do?
Yep.
They're really just. I think that it should be Ricochet or Damian Priest. But I wouldn't mind seeing Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley, because that's gonna be like a 3-star match. But
Josh has all of the matches booked until Survivor Series. I thank you guys for your comments. I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling. Raw, I'm just really not looking forward to Hell in a Cell at all, to be honest with you guys. There's really nothing really calling to me. But, we do know, to end the show on a positive, that in July there will be fans coming back. Carlos mentioned this earlier, so hopefully things will get a bit better. But thank you everyone for tuning into our Raw recap. There's a lot going on, so check in our NXT recap. That will be dropping soon. Our NXT TakeOver in Your House recap is dropping. Our SmackDown recap will be dropping tomorrow. And Hell in a Cell, our prediction video will be dropping too. A lot of stuff going to be dropping during these next 2-3 days, so be on the lookout for it. Thank you guys for tuning in again. You can find us wherever podcasts are available, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can check us out on YouTube, World of WWE Podcast. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Let us know what your thoughts were on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Any last words? Does anyone have anything else to say?
Have a good weekend, and hopefully you enjoy Hell in a Cell.
Yes, we will have a good weekend. Stay safe, and we will see you next with our Hell in a Cell prediction and our Hell in a Cell recap. So stay safe. Josh, thank you for joining. Did you have fun?
I did have fun. It was a pretty good experience.
All right, good. All right, so thank you guys for checking us out. Thank you again, Carlos, as always, and Dan. and I'm Ann, and we will see you with our next recap. Stay safe. Bye.
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 Have a good